Welcome to our few moments together on the Parsha. This Shabbos we have the privilege of reading Parshas Va'era. The Parsha gets its name from the second pasuk in the reading of the Torah, where it says at the beginning, Vayedaber Elokim al Moshe Vayomer Elo Ani Hashem, and Elokim spoke to Moshe and he said to him, I am Hashem. The second pasuk says, Va'era el Avraham el Yitzchak ve'el Yaakov B'keil Shakai, Ushmi Hashem lo nodati lahem, that I appeared to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov with the name Keil Shakai, the Almighty, but my name Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, I never let them know, meaning the promises were never fulfilled. And if you have an opportunity to look at the beautiful explanation of Rashi on Ushmi Hashem lo nodati lahem, it would be worthwhile. But at the beginning of the pasuk, when the pasuk says Va'era El Avraham Yitzchak El Yitzchak ve'el Yaakov, Rashi adds on the word Va'era El Ha'avos, and I appeared to the fathers. I had no doubt that that is what Va'era meant when it said Va'era El Avraham Yitzchak ve'el Yaakov. What was bothering Rashi? What did he answer that clarified that pasuk any more than the simple explanation of Va'era meant to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? And all the commentaries, so many, ask this question of what possibly did Rashi have in mind to add the words El Ha'avos. There are many explanations, but I'd like to focus on two. The first one is the answer of the Chassam Sofer. He says the word Avos in this commentary of Rashi does not necessarily mean to the fathers, but although it certainly does, but it also means El Ha'avos from the word Ava. Ava means want, like Velo Ava L'Shalcham. He didn't want to send them out when talking about Paro. But the word Ava means want. So the Chassam Sofer says Rashi is telling us, Va'era, and I appeared El Ha'avos, to those who want to see the hand of God in history, who want to see Hashem in the world. It's so obvious. Anyone who wants to can see it. Of course, if you have an inner reason not to want to, then you're not going to be able to see it. The forefathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and all the Jews throughout all the history of the world who have put their emunah and trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is because they wanted to see the most obvious fact of life, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world and each and every one of us. The Menachem Tzion has another explanation. He says, Avos, forefathers, fathers, are not only our physical progenitors. They're not only the ones who saw to it that physically we are here on this earth, but our fathers, the Jewish fathers, gave us a spiritual heritage. And even beyond their physical existence, even when they're no longer here, we have that recognition of the eternal gift that they gave us, of our spiritual connection, both to Hashem, both to the Torah and the Jewish people. Yisrael kudsha b'richu v'oraisa chadhu. Yisrael v'oraisa kudsha b'richu chadhu. The Jewish people and the Torah and Hashem, we're all one. And that's the heritage of the Avos. So Rashi is saying, and I appeared not only to the physical Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, but I appeared to the fathers who gave you not only your physical existence, but they also have us inexorably tied to all the spiritual teachings that they gave us. And isn't it so that the Jewish people's existence is a miraculous nature, considering all the vicissitudes of life that the Jewish people have had to go through, all the myriad number of historical travels, travails, and problems, being cast aside from generation to generation, from land to land, and yet maintaining this unique connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Is this not something of a unique spiritual nature, not only physical nature? And so we have the Avos, the fathers. Not only were they our physical fathers, but they are our spiritual fathers, and we are their spiritual heirs. And so we have this deep, deep connection with our past, not only with Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov as physical beings, but also as the spiritual leaders, the spiritual fathers of all the Jewish people for all time to come. A good way to approach the Shabbos reading of Parshas Va'era and the Shabbos Rosh Chodesh Shavat as we celebrate this Shabbos with the idea of the uniqueness of our heritage throughout all of history. Have a wonderful Shabbos.